So my name's Vanessa Cavanagh. I'm the project manager of the Aboriginal Riverkeeper Team here at Ecological Australia. I also acknowledge both my parents' ancestry. My mum is a Bundjalung woman from the north coast of New South Wales, and my father was a Wanneroo man from the Hunter region. My passion is Indigenous leadership or Aboriginal leadership. So Aboriginal leadership is really important, and not only just for me as an Aboriginal person to have strong leadership, but for the wider population more generally. Aboriginal people make up 3% of the national population, and for generations we've been experiencing disadvantage and working below the levels that the majority of the population have as a privilege, take for granted. So we have lower life expectancy, lower birth weight children, lower achievements in the education sphere, and I think it's really important that we can all have a voice and have an opportunity to make a positive influence for Aboriginal people, so that we can start to turn those statistics around and make things better for Aboriginal peoples. So with having a strong Aboriginal family, coming from a strong Aboriginal family, it was always reinforced to me that we had roles and responsibilities to help others in our community. So I was, in my mid-30s, and I was thinking, how can I influence other people to have the same success in their life as what I had experienced? So when I was offered the role of the Aboriginal Riverkeeper Team, that really spoke to me in the fact that there would be other young Aboriginal people on that team who I could positively influence. I started with the Aboriginal Riverkeeper Team as the project manager, and there was 4 trainees who were pretty much, 3 of them were straight out of school, and 1 of them was a bit older and had been out of school and had studied and tried a few different things. So there's this one trainee, and because of the legacy of the stolen generations, she can't connect back to her family. The line is broken. She doesn't know where, she's Aboriginal, but she doesn't know where her mob is from. And that's not an isolated case. There are lots of people who have lost that connection, and that's a product of the stolen generations. They were removed from their homes, removed from their communities, denied access to their culture, and told to actively deny their Aboriginality. And so that wasn't that long ago, but then you've got the generations of, that follow those people who suffered the immediate impact of the being stolen or taken from their communities. You've got their kids and their grandkids and their great-grandkids who are saying, well, we know we're Aboriginal, we identify as Aboriginal, but we don't actually know who we belong to, which Aboriginal nation within Australia do they belong to. So I've got a really privileged position because both my parents strongly identified as Aboriginal and were part of a huge Aboriginal family, and we've never lost that connection. But that's not the same story for everybody. So for other people, they've got these legacies and these stories that have just broken their soul, and they're trying to, live like happy and secure lives, but there's this part of them that's like missing. Who's my mob? Who do I belong to? So, for people like that young lady, it's like I would talk to her and say, this is your identity. No one can take this away from you. Yes, there's this huge part that's missing, and you'll find it one day. I do believe she will find it one day. But for her to be a young, proud Aboriginal woman coming from Western Sydney who's now got a full-time job and is able to be secure and working towards something, bettering her own future, I think that's just where she's at right now. And if I can help with that journey, I'll do whatever I can. Yeah. Aboriginal leadership to me is having strong Aboriginal people in the leadership roles. So for a really long time we've had Aboriginal people doing really great things but not reaching the top levels in business or in government or in society. So the more we start to see Aboriginal people in those leadership roles, it's really important. It gives younger Aboriginal people like myself and generations coming behind me role models that we can look up to and actually say, well, I can, look at what that person's achieving. They're in a high level position where they're able to achieve well in their life and have stability in their home and for their families. And it's someone that I can look up to and try and emulate, and I want to be successful like them. So we haven't had that, over the 230 years since colonisation in Australia, we're starting to see those benchmarks starting to become achieved so that we have those role models there that we can look up to. Yeah. So why are we doing this today? August 9 is the International Day of the World's Indigenous People. And through my role as the Aboriginal Riverkeeper Team Project Manager, I've been able to positively lead other Aboriginal people on their leadership journey.